Today, I'm excited. In this video, I am going to show you one of the most powerful healing modalities I've ever learned about. It's called Ho'oponopono. I'm going to show you what it is, what makes it such a magical experience, and how to use it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dom and I help people to step into their truth and power. Today, I am going to show you a powerful healing modality called Ho'oponopono. It was originally founded by a Hawaiian doctor that was studying mental patients that were in a hospital. And what he discovered is that when he practiced this modality with them, it was groundbreaking. He discovered that when he practiced this with them, they actually began to heal. I first learned about Ho'oponopono a couple of years ago at a retreat that I had attended. And since then, I've heard a lot about it. It keeps coming up. But I really didn't start looking more into it until last year. And what I've discovered, what I've learned, is that it really touches on the deepest level of your being. Ho'oponopono has been used to heal and set relationships right for people. And it's effective because it gets to the root of how reality really works and why it is the way it is between human beings. What the doctor discovered when he started working with his mental patients is that when one began to take complete responsibility for one's life, then everything one sees, one hears, one tastes, touches, or in any way experiences would be one's responsibility because it is in that one's life. He learned that in doing this exercise that their frame of reference began to change. The problem would not be in the external reality for them, but within themselves. You see, total responsibility advocates that everything exists in the outer world as a projection for what's going on in here. So instead of the doctor trying to change all of the patients, he changed his approach. He changed the patients within him first. He changed the interpretation that he had for them, and in doing so discovered he was actually creating a new reality for them. How is he creating them? He was creating them through a judgment or belief that he held about them. So if he looked at his mental patients as being ill or crazy, then that was the experience he was going to be creating for them. But if we don't agree that they are ill or crazy people, then we don't affirm our reality for that. What he realized is that as we shift our reality of them, we begin to shift into a reality where they are no longer ill or crazy, where they actually have an opportunity to heal. And so this is where reality isn't so black and white like we think it is. There is a whole lot more to what is going on in between the black and white. And so it's a very, very powerful technique. But what we have to understand here is that at any given time, our reality is really nothing more than a stream of data for us that our brains are interpreting. So what we do is we create different experiences with different people based on our interpretation of them. And then they act in alignment to how we interpret them. So instead of giving away our power to other people, in doing this, we maintain and hold our power and we change from within, which in turn changes them. This is a huge shift in consciousness that I'm talking about here, because they out in the outer world are not really they, but a reflection of how they are showing up for us of what we believe or what we interpret. In learning more about this, I learned that in the old Hawaiian culture families, that they would meet daily or weekly for Ho'oponopono ceremonies to prevent problems from erupting. Usually the most senior member of the family member conducted it, and they gathered the family together. And when the family is unable to work together to solve a problem, they turned to a trusted or respected outsider. This practice was also done between family members, but also between different families. The real objective of Ho'oponopono is getting to what they call a zero state. Typically, we're not in a zero state. You see, we each have an energy field around us. I'm going to draw a little man here. And I know this isn't great art, but we each have an energy field that encircles us. And within that energy field, we hold beliefs and judgments all around us. They're in our energy field. All different things. Those beliefs and judgments, then we project out into the world and they get reflected back to us. But when we begin the process of releasing the beliefs and judgments, we begin to heal. We begin to heal them. And these start going away. And so when we begin to heal these judgments and beliefs, what we reflect out begins to change because we don't have all of those beliefs and judgments. And therefore, what's reflected back to us is then a different reality. And so when we get to the place where we have no beliefs or judgments, no charge in our energy around what other people are doing, that is when we get into a zero state. A zero state is where we have no limits. There's no memories and there's no ego. We get to a zero state when the projection begins to really heal and our reality begins to change. You see, everything on the outside of us is data that is feeding our mind about how we see and respond to others. And so as we change the way we see the data, we change what we see and how we see our relationship to it. We then begin to transform our reality from the inside out. Ho'oponopono is based on the idea of 100% responsibility. Taking responsibility not for only one's own actions, but for everyone's actions. You've got to understand that everything around us is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. Everything around us is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So when we change our interpretation of how others are, we change the experience and then, therefore, change the relationship with them. From my experience, this is when things get really interesting because things become more reflective towards the kind of reality we really want to be experiencing. We aren't living at the helm of what's happening or being done to us anymore, but rather we're living at the helm and in the power of what we want to create for ourselves. So instead of coming from that place of victimhood or what's happening to me, we're coming from a place of empowerment and how we're creating our own reality. So if you want to heal something that's on the outside, you must first heal the belief and judgment that you're holding of it on the inside. And by healing it on the inside, you then transform it from the inside out. To reach this zero state that I've talked about before, Ho'oponopono uses a mantra. And the mantra is 4 simple statements. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Let's start with I'm sorry. Here you are taking responsibility and ownership for everything on the outside of you. We can't change what we don't own. So we're holding on to our power here. If you think for a moment that you're saying sorry for something that someone else did, understand this. There is no someone else. It's your interpretation of what happened. So when you say, I am sorry, you begin to heal that judgment. Everything is perfect as it is already. Everything is perfect as it is already. It's only our beliefs and our judgments that create this disturbance in our energy and being. Our beliefs and judgments create the disturbance in our energy and being. So when we say, I'm sorry, we are holding on to our power and owning what is a projection of ourselves. Let's go on to the next one. Please forgive me. The cool thing about forgiveness, that is the pathway to all healing. All healing. Now you might be thinking, but I didn't do that. Oh, yes, you did. You held a certain judgment or belief about a certain situation or person, and you created your version of it. Now, I know this might I know I might be bruising a few egos here a little bit, but we need to become aware that everything around us is a projection. But we don't realize this, or we forget this and think that there are all these other people doing these things to us. Please forgive my insistence of it, my judgment of it, my flawed belief of it. It's perfect just the way it is. Let's move on to thank you. Thank you is where we begin to introduce the energy of gratitude. Gratitude is amazingly powerful. Amazingly. Thank you. Thank you. Genuinely and authentically. Thank you taps into an energy of completion and receiving the gift of forgiveness. I am grateful. Thank you. I don't judge you. I don't judge myself anymore. Everything is perfect the way it is. Thank you. Then lastly, I love you. When we recognize in saying that, we're actually able to receive it. This statement is the glue, the foundation of where all relationships begin, with others, but also with ourselves first. And so before doing this exercise, it's important to first set an intention before doing any of this. What do you really want to heal? So maybe you want to heal the relationship with your father or with someone you felt has done you wrong. So you can focus on your father or that person with them that you have in mind, and you can go through these 4 statements. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Just doing that 3 times, I can feel, I'm getting into my heart space. I'm getting almost emotional with just saying it out loud those 3 times. There's a shift in your energy, in your perception of how you believe things actually are. Your reality begins to shift. And so as you begin going through this and repeating this over and over, it's like a little mantra of these 4 statements that you repeat over and over. You're going to want to do this with a real sense of intention and authenticity coming from your heart. When done in this way, I believe that this is when we really begin to tap into a real divine power that is within you, and you're able to begin releasing all of that junk, the beliefs, the judgments, even the resentments that you've been holding on to and that have kept you in a low, negative vibe. For some, they begin to feel a shift right away, while others, it takes a bit longer. So from my experience, in order for this to be the most effective, you'll probably want to practice this each day for 14 or 21 days. And just watch. Just watch and sit in curiosity over what happens to your reality, to your relationship. After doing this, I would love for you to come back here to this video and let me know what you experienced in the comments below. Because when you do this, for that 14 to 21 days, your life will begin to change in a very powerful way. Because what you're doing is you're beginning to take full ownership of your life in a way like you've never have before. And so when you do this, you'll begin to also heal a number of other different aspects in your life as well. So I'm curious, have you ever heard of Ho'oponopono? And what value are you taking from this video today? Please share them in the comments below. Let me know, because I value your thoughts and I enjoy hearing, what is of value to you. This lets me know what you need more of, what you could use help with. And lastly, if this video is speaking to you on any level, please pay it forward. Pay it forward by sharing this video with just one other person who you might think benefit from it. And so until I connect with you again for my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.